Today, we're going to talk about a star. Pedro is the player of the day. Do you enjoy learning about the luxurious lives of football stars? If so, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the upcoming videos. Let's get started. Pedro joined Fluminense in 2014 when he was still very young to play in the club's youth teams. In 2015, he made history by helping the team win the Under-20 Brazilian Championship. That same year, Pedro also shone in international competitions, becoming the top scorer of the Terborg tournament in the Netherlands and the champion of the Spax Cup in Germany. In 2016, Pedro stood out once again, scoring 32 goals and becoming the top scorer in Brazil's youth categories. Pedro's journey has been incredible since he first began shining at Fluminense. He made his debut with the senior team on March 10, 2016, at just 19 years old, taking the spot in attack after Enrique Douardo left. It was a pivotal moment in the young striker's career, who had already shown great potential. His first goal for Fluminense came in an exciting 3-2 victory over Criciúma on January 24th in the Primeira Liga. From then on, Pedro earned more playing time. By the end of the Carioca Championship that year, he had scored 2 goals in 10 games, with only 5 starts. Even with limited minutes on the field, he was already showing signs of his talent and attacking power. In the 2018 Carioca Championship, Pedro truly stood out. He scored 7 goals in 13 games, becoming the top scorer of the tournament. This was not only an important achievement for him, but also a historic feat for Fluminense. At just 20 years old, Pedro became the youngest player in the club's history to be the top scorer of the Carioca Championship, which made the fans fall in love with him even more. However, Pedro's greatest highlight came in the 2018 Brazilian Championship. He was in spectacular form, becoming the top scorer of the competition with 10 goals in 19 matches. Pedro kept shining, but unfortunately, he suffered an injury that kept him off the field for a while. He had to undergo surgery in September, which meant he wouldn't play for the rest of the year. Despite the time off, his performance up to that point was impressive, and at the end of the championship, he was voted the revelation of the year by the captains, coaches, and journalists. The vote included more than 10,000 people. Additionally, by August 2018, Pedro was the player with the most shots on goal in the competition and the second in direct goal involvements. After a long period of recovery, Pedro returned to the pitch on April 18, 2019. He had been sidelined for 8 months due to injury, but he didn't give up and underwent intensive physiotherapy sessions to regain his form. His return match was against Santa Cruz in the Copa do Brasil at the Maracana. Although he came on in the second half and created a few goal-scoring chances, Pedro was unable to score in that match. However, it didn't take long for him to find the back of the net again. On May 2, 2019, he scored his first goal after his recovery, heading the ball into the net in a match against Santos at Vila Belmiro. This goal was a special moment as it proved he was back to his best form. May 5, 2019, also marked an unforgettable day in Pedro's career. In a thrilling match against Grêmio, he scored once again, this time from the penalty spot, in an epic 5-4 victory. The match was exciting from start to finish. Fluminense was initially losing 3-0, but managed to turn the game around. And in the final moments, the Rio de Janeiro team secured the win with a goal in added time. The game became famous for the incredible comeback and Pedro's performance, with his penalty securing the victory for Fluminense. This journey, full of ups and downs, but always driven by immense talent and determination, made Pedro one of the most beloved idols among Fluminense fans and one of the big names in Brazilian football. On August 31, 2019, Fluminense and Fiorentina reached an agreement regarding Pedro's sale, but it all depended on him passing some medical exams. On September 2nd, after undergoing the exams, the transfer was confirmed. Pedro made his debut in the new league on November 3rd, playing against Parma, replacing Kevin Prince Boateng. Before that, on September 28th, he scored a goal in a practice match against Roma's reserve team. On January 15th, 2020, Flamengo announced that Pedro would be loaned from Fiorentina until the end of the year, with an option to buy. On January 23rd, Pedro was officially presented as a Flamengo player. In his debut on February 3rd, he scored his first goal, which was an own goal, but the referee believed it was Pedro who scored. He also assisted Bruno Henrique in scoring another goal in Flamengo's 3-1 victory over Resende in the Taça Guanabara. At the end of 2020, in December, Flamengo decided to purchase Pedro for 14 million euros, equivalent to about 87 million reais. In his first season with Flamengo, Pedro scored 20 goals in 39 games and was called up to the Brazilian national team once again. In 2021, Pedro continued scoring important goals. He netted in several matches, including a 2-0 win over Goiás, and was named the scorer of the most beautiful goal of the 2020 Copa do Brasil. After recovering from an injury, Pedro returned to shine in April, scoring decisive goals in both the Campeonato Carioca and the Libertadores. In July, he scored 4 goals in a match against Tolima in the Libertadores, securing qualification for the next stage. In September, Pedro made history by scoring 3 goals in Flamengo's victory over Vélez Sarsfield in the Libertadores semi-final, a feat that had only been accomplished by Pelé before. In 2022, Pedro had an incredible year. He scored several goals, including a hat-trick against Bragantino, and finished as the top scorer of the Libertadores with 12 goals, leading Flamengo to the title. He was also named the best player of the competition. Throughout the year, Pedro continued scoring important goals and stood out as one of Flamengo's key players. In 2023, Pedro started the year strong, scoring goals and helping Flamengo win important matches, including the victory over Vasco in the Campeonato Carioca, where he was the primary contributor to the goals. He was also named the King of America, awarded as the best player in South America for 2022. With over 100 goals and many victories, Pedro has become one of Flamengo's greatest idols and continues to make history in football. On July 29th, Pedro went through a very difficult situation. After Flamengo's victory against Atletico MG in the Brazilian Championship, he was talking to his family on the phone when Flamengo's physical trainer, Pablo Fernandes, assaulted him. Pedro was defending himself, trying to remove the trainer's hand from his face when he was punched, injuring his mouth and jaw. Despite this, Pedro remained one of Flamengo's top strikers that year, even alternating between being a starter and sitting on the bench. In total, he played 61 matches, 48 of them as a starter, scored 35 goals, and provided 4 assists. On February 15th, Pedro shone by scoring 3 goals in Flamengo's 3-0 victory against Bangu in the Campeonato Carioca. Later, on March 30th, he scored 2 goals in a 3-0 win over Nova Iguaçu in the Carioca final, one of which was historic, marking the 13,000th goal in Flamengo's history. In the Carioca Championship, Pedro was the top scorer, netting 11 goals, making him the best scorer of the competition. It was the first time he won this award while playing for Flamengo, although he had already been the top scorer of the championship in 2018 when he played for Fluminense. Unfortunately, on September 4th, Pedro suffered a serious injury to his left knee, tearing his anterior cruciate ligament during a training session with the Brazilian national team. He had to undergo surgery and missed 21 Flamengo matches. Still, Pedro surprised everyone by finishing the year as the second highest Brazilian goal scorer with 30 goals, even though he had spent nearly 3 months off the field due to the injury. Pedro likes to keep his life calm and away from the spotlight, but always finds a way to share a little bit of his day with his fans, posting pictures on social media. In 2023, he married Fernanda Nogueira, a psychologist, in a very intimate ceremony with just family and a few friends. They had been together since 2021, and the proposal was truly special. It happened during the call-up for the World Cup in Qatar, when Pedro got down on one knee to pop the question. He said that Fernanda helps him become a better person and wanted that moment to be unforgettable for both of them. The two are very much in love and frequently post cute pictures on social media, especially from their trips together. They have twin daughters, Isabella and Antonia, who were born last year. However, at the time of their wedding, Fernanda was being investigated by the federal police due to a company she was a partner in, which was involved in a money laundering case. But we hope everything gets resolved. Pedro has an Instagram account with 7 million followers, where he shares his moments and, of course, his love for Flamengo. And it's not just about football. The player also took the opportunity to promote brands like Adidas, Guarana Antarctica, which even appeared on his cleats, and even PlayStation. After all, making the most of opportunities is part of the game. Pedro, who was once rejected, is now a great idol of his beloved team and earns 1 million reais a month. He uses all that money to enjoy life and do what he loves most. The star loves nature and has fun practicing water sports. And it doesn't stop there. He's also passionate about basketball. One time, he even traveled to watch an incredible game up close. Speaking of trips, Pedro and his wife love exploring the world. They've been to places like Disney, Dubai, the Maldives, Rome, Venice, Paris, and even Fernando de Noronha. Oh, and he loves a paradise destination. When he's not traveling, Pedro lives in Rio de Janeiro, in a luxury apartment in Barra, worth 7 million Brazilian reals. The house is beautiful. The outdoor area has beige flooring and an amazing gourmet space, perfect for enjoying sunny days. In the living room, the white flooring with black details adds a modern touch, and the wooden wall complements the giant TV, perfect for watching games and playing video games. The blue sofa is huge and super comfortable, ideal for relaxing on Saturdays watching movies. Pedro also has 4 beautifully decorated bedrooms, with a master suite featuring a walk-in closet to store all his luxury clothes. When it comes to cars, Pedro has great taste. He owns a Volvo XC90 in his garage, which costs an impressive 608,950 Brazilian reals. This car is a real machine, with a futuristic design, super comfortable leather seats, and a state-of-the-art multimedia center. It's packed with technology and performance on the roads. Additionally, it has a system that purifies the air inside the car. Pedro chose a hybrid model with a 340 horsepower engine, which accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 4.5 seconds. He nailed the choice because the car is comfortable and perfect for long trips. After all, he deserves to enjoy his achievements in style and comfort. Pedro also owns a silver Land Rover Defender, which costs 700,000 Brazilian reals. This car is perfect for families or anyone who loves comfort. It has space for up to 8 people. The Land Rover Defender is a true icon, combining incredible toughness with modern luxury. Its design is robust, and the vehicle handles any challenge with ease. The interior is refined, and the technology that comes with the car makes the driving experience even more exciting, without sacrificing the trustworthiness and strength it offers. It's for those who love adventure, but don't want to give up comfort. Did you enjoy getting to know a little about Pedro's life? Now, watch the video that's appearing on your screen. I'm sure you'll like it. I'll be waiting for you there.